Dear learners, welcome to Sunflux online class. And this class is brought to you by Dear learners. This lesson is very important for the students who want to build their gap filling skills. Basically, such sorts of questions make the students confused because of their less capability of taking a good decision to provide a suitable word for the gap. And I think that this happens for unconscious users of parts of speech. We know that parts of speech are the basic elements of a language. This lesson is brought to you with logical dealings of parts of speech in the sentences. Okay, so let's go ahead. So, our today's topic, fill in the blanks without clues. How we'll fill the blanks when we don't have any clues for the blanks. It's a technical study. So be careful and carefully listen and watch the video. Okay, let's go ahead. Before going to start our topics, there are some points to be remembered. Follow the points. You must have a context with minimum 5 and maximum 10 gaps, and you have to put suitable words in the gap. Okay, so you must have a context. So your first work is you must read the context one more time. Then try to find out the sentence structure. Then trace out the possible meaning of the sentences as much as you can. Then follow the word order of the structure. We know that a sentence have two, sometimes we can say three parts: subject, object, or verb, or subject and predicate. And we can say also clause. Okay. Then try to trace out the phrases and clauses. You must have knowledge on phrase and clause. Accept this. It's quite difficult to answer such sorts of questions. So be careful. তাহলে প্রথমত আমাদের কয়েকটা জিনিস সবসময় মনে রাখতে হবে যে কনটেক্সট দেওয়া থাকবে সেটা আমরা একের অধিকবার পড়ে নেব। পড়ার পরে সেখান থেকে সেন্টেন্স স্ট্রাকচারগুলো আমরা ট্রেস আউট করার চেষ্টা করব। দেন আমরা চেষ্টা করব কি তার সম্ভাব্য যে বাংলা অর্থটা হতে পারে সেটাকে ট্রেস আউট করার। তারপরে আমরা ওয়ার্ড অর্ডার খেয়াল করব সেন্টেন্সের মধ্যে। তারপরে দেখব যে সেখানে ফ্রেজ কি ধরনের ফ্রেজ এবং ক্লোজেস ব্যবহার করা হয়েছে। ওকে, ডিয়ার স্টুডেন্টস, লেটস go ahead. And one more thing you must keep in mind, you should have a good understanding on especially noun, verb, adjective, preposition and adverb with a position in the sentence, because fill in the gaps basically depends on these 5 parts, not 4: noun, adjective, verb, preposition and adverbs. Basically you must find the gap with either preposition or adjective, verb, noun, whatever among these 5. Okay, now let's go to the main point. And there is a note: the context is always, the context that you will have in your question is always based on situation, incidents, occasions, celebration, or recent happenings, recent issues. The context must be like this. Okay, so let's go. Fill in the gaps with suitable words. Your context is this, like this. and your question is fill in the gaps with suitable words. So dear learners, our first condition was you must read the context one more time. So let's read the context. Mobile phone is one of the dash wonders of science. It has added a new dimension dash our life and to communication system. It can be moved dash and quickly dash place to place. Through mobile phone we can send messages to distant places, play games and sports, no dash time, solve the work of calculation, can be our dash different kinds of news and views. In dash very single moment we can communicate with the people living in a very distant place. Scientists have recently discovered that mobile phone can cause cancer to the dash. Besides, it has become a fashion dash the young people. Last but not the least, terrorists are using it to spread out terrorism all dash the world. So, learners, this is our context, and today in my today's class I will deal this context sentence wise as per sentences. We will analyze all the sentences with gaps. Okay, so let's analyze these sentences. First, let's analyze the context as per sentences. Okay, what is the first sentence? Our first sentence was mobile phone is one of the dash wonders of science. So generally we have three parts: subject, verb and object verb. So let's say firstly you think of parts of a speech: noun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition. Which one you want to place in the gap? It's yours. Firstly you have to think so. Then take decision to insert one of them. Among these five you have to insert one. So take your decision wisely. Then think of the logical accuracy of the inserted word in the blank. After placing parts in the gap, you must think of their logical accuracy. The parts, if the parts is sitting there, then be sure that you have chosen the right one. Okay, now let's see, we have a subject, verb and object part. Among this, as I told you before, objects, subjects and all these are a small unit of words that we call phrase. So let's see the phrase: article, adjective. This is the building block. How to build a phrase: article, adjective, noun, pronoun plus preposition, article, adjective, noun, pronoun. So let's see, article before the blank and there is a gap which requires an adjective, and after the gap we got a noun. So you must be sure that the blanks must need an adjective. আমরা অবশ্যই দেখে নেব যে একটা সেন্টেন্সে তিনটা অংশ থাকতে পারে: সাবজেক্ট, ভার্ব, অবজেক্ট, এবং প্রত্যেকটা অংশকেই বলা হয়ে থাকে এক একটা ফ্রেজ, বিল্ডিং ব্লকস। যেমন অবজেক্ট অংশ কিছু ফ্রেজ নিয়ে গঠিত, সেটা নাউন ফ্রেজ হইতে পারে, প্রিপোজিশনাল ফ্রেজ, অ্যাডভার্বিয়াল ফ্রেজ, হোয়াট এভার দ্য ফ্রেজ ইজ। আমাদেরকে সেই ফ্রেজের বিল্ডিং ব্লকটা দেখতে হবে। আমি নিচে কিছুটা চেষ্টা করেছি দেখানোর যে ফ্রেজগুলো সাধারণত এইভাবেই তৈরি হতে পারে: আর্টিকেল, অ্যাডজেক্টিভ, নাউন, প্রোনাউন, প্রিপোজিশন, আর্টিকেল, অ্যাগেইন অ্যাডজেক্টিভ, নাউন, প্রোনাউন। আমার প্রিভিয়াস লেসনগুলোতে দেখানো হয়েছে যে অ্যাডজেক্টিভ কি, প্রিপোজিশনস, অ্যাডভার্ব। So you just remember that. Okay, then we are sure that this gap requires an adjective. So what kind of adjectives I will put here? First, in my previous slide I have told you that the context always based on situation. So while you get the context, you must remember of that note that the context may be of situations. So we need to know situational words here. Wonders dash wonders. So we are sure that an adjective is needed in the gap. Let's see. The adjective may be wonderful, eye-catching, astonishing. This all these are adjectives, and you have to put one of them. So I'm going to put wonderful. Wonderful is an adjective because it can modify the word wonders. আমরা সবাই জানি wonders এটা বিস্ময়কর, বিস্ময়, চোখ ধাঁধানো আবিষ্কার অথবা মনো. Okay, so we have analyzed the first sentence. Let's go to the second. And you see phrase. Phrase are the small units of words. Have no subject, having no subject and finite verb of its own. তাহলে ফ্রেজগুলো হচ্ছে একটা ছোট্ট গ্রুপ শব্দের যেগুলোতে কোনো সাবজেক্ট এবং অবজেক্ট বা ফিনিট ভার্ব থাকবে না. ওকে, লেটস মুভ অন. Our second sentence. It has added a new dimension dash our life and to communicate system. আমরা শুধু technically we are going to deal the sentences technically study. If you do so, you will be able to answer such type of questions very easily because you will have logic, you will have conditions, you know better why this gap needs an adjective, an adverb, verb, preposition, noun. You will have the logic, and I believe you will put the correct one. Okay, it has added a new dimension dash our life and the communication system. Let's see. First of all, we have to think as previous. Then say it, preparatory it, which is used as subject, has added tense verb and object part. Object parts consist of some phrases. So let's see. One, a new dimension, a phrase working as object. And let's see. So prepositional phrases we got after. Prepositions comes to make a relationship between two nouns or two noun clauses. So prepositions, article, adjective, noun, pronoun. What do you see? These are two building blocks to form it. Let's see. We have life, a noun, then our possessive adjectives, pronouns. Then we need a preposition, not article. Why? Because article is needed only for noun, the life. If the noun demands article, in that case you can place. Otherwise you can't. But in this case, you see the first clause and the second clause. First clause, a new dimension, ends with a noun. And we need second clause. Second clause, prepositions, two nouns, life and dimension. We have to make a link between these two. So to make a relationship or link, we need prepositions. So we have to put here a preposition, correct preposition. It's a phrase. Let's see. Preposition, you can use to or in. Which one you will use? Obviously to, not in. So, and let's move on. Our third sentence. It can be moved. Dash and quickly. Dash place to place. Place to place. Here we can see some sorts of sentence. It has also subject part, verb, object part, and phrases. What do we call phrases? Small units of words. So you have to think as previous. think of a first of speech, take decision to insert one of them, then you just justify the logical accuracy of the inserted word and be sure that you have chosen the right one. Let's see, subject, object, word or complement. Let's see, and it's a conjunction, and you will have known that conjunctions can connect phrases, clauses or words. Words mean the word of same parts of speech. Conjunction can connect noun with noun, adjective with adjective, two adjectives, three adjectives, not adjective and noun. So you must remember it. Okay, conjunctions can connect phrases, clauses and words, basically same parts of speech. Now see the phrases. Your phrases may have like this: article, adjective, noun, pronoun, preposition, article, adjectives, preposition. Sometimes we get verb with ing form, then article, adjective, noun, pronoun. Sometimes we can get adverb after the article, and so on. So let's see. We have quickly, and we have a gap before and. So we must have to place here another adjective which should be connected with conjunctions. So easily and quickly. Then we have a next place, noun. We can say in the first structure, say article, adjective, noun. Adjectives comes to modify the noun. If no need to modify noun, we don't need any adjectives. So we need article or preposition. The second phrase, from, preposition, the noun, preposition, noun. Adjectives and articles are used to basically modify the nouns. Okay, let's go on. We have another sentence. Through mobile phone, we can send messages to distant places, play games and sports, know dash time, solve the work of calculation, can be hour dash different kinds of news and views. This is a sentence, long sentence. We have to think as previous. See, first we get a phrase, then we have subject, verb, consent and the object or complement part. Let's see the phrases, the structure of phrases. এখন আমরা দেখি এটা একটা বড় সেন্টেন্স যেখানে ফ্রেজ অনেকগুলো ফ্রেজ পাওয়া যায়। সাবজেক্ট ফ্রেজ কখনো একটা শব্দ হতে পারে, আবার কখনো শব্দের একটা গ্রুপ হতে পারে, যেটার অবশ্যই কোনো সাবজেক্ট এবং কোনো ফিনিট ভার্ব থাকবে না। So dear learners, we can see what phrase, time, a noun, and before that we need an either adjective or article. We have placed as article which is called definite adjectives. Got it? Articles are used as adjectives in the sentences. So we have placed adjectives. We know the time and solve the work of calculation can be hour dash kinds noun hour of a phrase, hour of prepositional phrase, appropriate prepositions. So we are sure that here we need a preposition of. And one more sentence, in dash very single moment we can communicate with the people living in a very distant place. So we can see first we got a phrase, then we have subject, verb part, tense verb basically, and object or complement part. Let's see, firstly you think of as previous first of speech, then take a good decision to insert one of them, and then justify the logical accuracy of the word that you have put in the gaps. Then let's see the structure of the phrases. We will use this phrase: preposition, article, adverb, adjective, noun, pronoun. We have moment. So moment is a noun. Single adjective. Adverb, vary. Adverb can modify another adjective. Adverbs can modify adjectives. And first, prepositions. So necessarily here we need a article. We have placed that. Okay, let's go on. Must be careful while using. If you do so, you will be able to solve different kind of problems. It will increase your capability of filling in the gaps skills. Okay, let's move on. Then our one more sentence. Scientists have recently discovered that mobile phone can cause cancer to the dash. As you see that I am solving all the problems based on basically phrases. So phrases are very important. You understood how much important phrases are. So be careful about phrases, uses, their building blocks. I have shown you how to build a phrase. Let's see. Scientists have, here we get two clauses connected by a conjunction, that relative conjunctions. Okay, I think so. And here is the structures of phrase. So clauses consist of 2 or 3 phrases. Okay, so let's see. We have gap in the second clause where to the dash. So preposition, we got a preposition, then article. Adjective is needed to modify the noun. Here is no noun, so we need a noun, and the noun is preposition, article, and we need a noun. A noun is users. Scientists have recently discovered that mobile phone can cause cancer to the users. Okay, so in this way you can solve the questions, or you can answer the fill in the gaps. And our next sentence: besides, it has become a fashion dash the young people. First of all, you have to think of a word service, then take decision to insert one of them and whatever is said before. Okay, let's see the structures. Phrase structures. Okay, so we will use this phrase. We have a subject word, see, noun, adjective, and article. Before that, we need a prepositions. To, we will use the preposition to. Besides, it has become a fashion to the young people. Okay, just you think in your mind that you are dealing the context technically, where you need preposition, why, and why to use. Everything revolves around you. Okay, so let's go on. Our last sentence of the context: last but not the least, terrorists are using it to spread out terrorism all dash the world. Here we get some phrases, small units of words, and let's see the thinking first. How will you think to answer these questions? So first you have to think of a parts of speech. Then you should take a good decision to insert one of them, and then you just justify the logical accuracy of the word that you have put in the blank. Then be sure that you have chosen the right one. Okay, so let's see the sentence. Analyze. Last but not the least. Here is a phrase. Last and not the least. Conjunctions added by conjunctions. Terrorist subject are using tense verb and object. So let's see the structures of the phrases. Here we get, we know it, we have to work on object part, where we may get two or more phrases, means small units of words. The building blocks of that units are like this: article, adjective, noun, pronoun, sometimes prepositions, adjective, noun, pronoun, and as shown on the screen. Okay, let's see where the blank is. Let's see, we will use this structure. So you can see word, a noun, article, and before that we need a preposition, because before the cap we have more words. All, terrorism, a noun, so we have to use over, all over the world, a preposition. So in this way you can solve the questions. It's a technical study. আমরা যখন fill in the gaps এর উত্তর করি, অনেক সময় আমাদের অনেকেই আছে, অনেক সময় we just don't think of a bigger phrase, because we just use a word that you think of it's the right answer, but not. No, you have to choose grammatically which parts of speech basically you want to place there. Otherwise your answer may be wrong, because you don't know how to use an adjective, how to use an adverb, how to use prepositions. If you don't know this, you must feel hesitation while answering these questions. So be careful. আমরা ফ্রেজগুলোকে ছোট ছোট একটা বাক্যকে ছোট অংশে পরিণত করব, পরিণত করার পর সেগুলোকে ফ্রেজ আকারে দেখব। স্মল ইউনিটসে ফ্রেজ হচ্ছে একটা বাক্যের ছোট ছোট ইউনিট, শব্দগুচ্ছ, যেগুলোর মধ্যে সাবজেক্ট ভার্ব থাকবে না, তারা সিঙ্গেল পার্টস অফ স্পিচের মতো কাজ করবে। তো সেগুলোকে আমরা বলে থাকি ফ্রেজেস। এই ফ্রেজ অনুযায়ী এই কোশ্চেনের অ্যান্সারগুলো করা যাবে। যদি এভাবে করে পড়া যায় তাহলে আমাদের কয়েকটা প্র্যাকটিসের পরেই একটা দক্ষতা চলে আসবে যে ফিল ইন দ্য গ্যাপসে আমি কোন পার্টস অফ স্পিচ প্লেস করবো। বেসিক্যালি আমার মাথায় এই চিন্তাটা চলে আসে যে এখানে আমি শিওর হয়ে যাই এখানে একটা অ্যাডজেক্টিভ বসবে। তারপরে আমরা ফলো করবো সিচুয়েশনাল ইংলিশ, অকেশনাল, যেখানে কোন ধরনের অ্যাডজেক্টিভ আমি ব্যবহার করতে পারি, যেটা কনটেক্সটকে, এই কারণে বলা হয়েছে কনটেক্সটকে একের অধিকবার পড়তে হবে, যাতে করে তোমার কাছে স্ট্রাকচার, তার সম্ভাব্য যে অর্থগুলো হয় সেগুলো চলে আসে, যাতে করে তোমার কাছে ওই ফ্রেজগুলো যখন অ্যান্সার করবে তখন ইজি হয়ে আসে। সো ডিয়ার লার্নার্স, আই হোপ that you understood what I want to share with you today. Okay, so you must think logically while answering the question. Fill in the gaps. It may be without clues, with clues, or whatever the question about. Okay, so must be careful of it. Let's see the context. And your phrase structure may be large, and you have to use in this way: article, adjective. Okay, it may be the phrases structures also. Okay, let's see the context again. Now we got a shape. Mobile phone is one of the wonderful wonders of science. It has added a new dimension to our life and the communication system. It can be moved easily and quickly from place to place. Through mobile phone we can send messages to distant places, play games and sports, know the time, solve the work of calculation, can be aware of different kinds of news and views in a very single moment. we can communicate with the people living in a very distant place. Scientists have recently discovered that mobile phone can cause cancer to the users. Besides, it has become a fashion to the young people. Last but not the least, terrorists are using it to spread out terrorism all over the world. We got a good shape, and all the words that we have put for each gap are grammatically correct, and we are sure that we have used the right parts and the right word that can complete the meaning of the sentences or of the context. Okay, so you must try to practice in this way, in this technical way, so that you can understand the logic behind the gaps. We just memorize the rules without understanding what the rule about. But if you review the sentences technically, you will get the rules, and I hope you can create rules. You can make rules by yourself, individual rules. Okay, so dear learners, thank you, and stay home, stay safe, and carry on your study. Okay, thank you very much.